Facts Only Boxing. I'm about as big a critic of Bob Arum's matchmaking as you'll ever find. Best promoter in the world, maybe ever, but the matches he puts on, Jesus Christ, normally horrible. But I got to give him credit because Lomachenko's stepping it up, fighting Jorge Linares, May 12th, MSG. It should be a good night of boxing. It's a week after Canelo and Triple G, so there'll be all that boxing love in the air. It's going to be amazing. Basically, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good fight. Can Linares test Lomachenko? The brutal answer is nah, for lots of reasons. Linares is a very good fighter, don't get me wrong. World champion deservedly. He is a world level fighter. He's a very, very good fighter. And, you know, you only have to look at his record to see that, but he passes the eye test as well. Like, everyone can look at Linares and say, right, that is a potentially great fighter. Very, very good. So not knocking his level, but I think generally there's some things that are overvalued by boxing fans. I always mention power as one of them. Whenever you see a power punch, you think, oh yeah, he's going to win that by knockout. Or when he lands his right hand, but it doesn't work out like that. It doesn't play out like that at the very, very highest level. I think another characteristic that's quite overvalued is slickness. And I think people watch Lawrence Okoli against Chamberlain and be like, well, Okoli is not very good technically or whatever, but skill is the ability to get the result in an effective manner. Someone like Lawrence Okoli, he's skilled because he does it in a way that's maybe not pleasing to the eye, but he does it and gets the result. Jorge Linares is very pleasing to the eye, very technically sound, and you watch that and think, yeah, okay, that's a top level fighter, and you walk away with no doubts that, you know, he's in the upper echelon skill wise. But when we really drill down and look at Jorge Linares, he's got a few vulnerabilities where you really can't see him beating Lomachenko. I think he doesn't hold up to damage well. We all know the issues that Linares has with cuts and things like that. He has a paper face, so the saying goes. That always is an Achilles heel for him. And Lomachenko, if he lands with any consistency, Linares' face is going to be marked up. And it might be a short night because of that. Other than that, don't expect it to be a short night. I expect it to be, you know, Linares is going to be throwing some back. So Lomachenko isn't going to have it all his own way. He's going to have to figure out how to come in and, work his way into the fight and gain dominance from there. But yeah, we can't ignore that. Linares does not take damage well, especially to the face. Other thing is, Linares' recent form, he's really flattered to deceive. His last fight was against Gesta in January. He won the fight pretty handily. But if you look at his recent track record beyond that, he had a struggle with Luke Campbell. When, you know, one judge had it 114, 113, the other two had it 115, 113 to Linares in a fight where Luke Campbell was cut very early on. And it was much more competitive in the ring than it had been on paper. It was supposed to be a routine kind of defense for Linares. And he made hard work of that. And his recent form just suggests that he's a good fighter, but he's just not that level of talent. He's good enough to win titles and maybe unify, but he's not going to clean out any division. And I think we just have to keep sight of that. He is probably the biggest test for Lomachenko in terms of the fact that he's not fighting a guy who's been inactive. He's not fighting a guy who's come up off a layoff. He's not fighting a guy who's a no-hoper. He's fighting a guy who's live, who's already fought this year. He's going to be in shape, but I don't see it. I don't see like how Jorge Linares can win. I just think he probably gets outboxed, might get bloody face like he usually does. You know, I give some credit to Lomachenko and I give some credit to Bob Arum for the fight, but let's be honest, Linares isn't going to win, is he? It's just that, okay, he's at least a world level fighter in with Lomachenko, who is fully healthy, who is a bit bigger, who is quite skillful. So give him credit on that basis, but Lomachenko's going to win that pretty handily. And then it's interesting because, let's be honest, we all know that the test for Lomachenko, the real guy that, now that Crawford is at 147, when Crawford was at 140, I always thought, I wonder if Lomachenko will venture up that high because Crawford would give him that work, I always thought. But the real test remaining for Lomachenko is Mikey Garcia. We hope that fight can get made. It will be amazing. But obviously with Mikey Garcia having left Bob Arum and the historical relationship there, and obviously, you know, with Bob Arum, it's always really hard to make a fight with him unless he really wants to. That's the fight I think everyone wants to see. Mikey Garcia, Lomachenko, Linares will give a bit of a test. He's a good name to have in your resume. And I think once you've beaten Linares, only then I'll start taking seriously claims of Lomachenko being number one pound for pound. Because what's his record now? 10-1. I really couldn't take it all that seriously, bearing in mind that he fought Waters off a long layoff, fought a smaller Rigondeaux off a long layoff. Gary Russell had his issues. So they're good wins, but they always had asterisks next to them. This is one that won't. So it's a good look for Lomachenko to get in with Linares. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. But expect that Lomachenko will win the unanimous decision. Linares isn't going to quit because he's going to be taking some but giving some back. So he will be in the fight. He won't be dispirited the way that Waters and Rigondeaux were. So yeah, good fight. Looking forward to it. Facts Only Boxing.